Yo, we back, man, to another Real Rap Coalition podcast. This is some shit these bitch ass niggas call Crash Course. I don't have anything.
Look at him. He was talking crazy. Now he got kicked out.
Yo,
Fuck
hold
outta
on,
here.
man. I'm tripping.
Yeah.
What the fuck wrong with dude?
That nigga got him up out of here. He said he
Hey.
heard bitch ass nigga got rid of
Yeah,
him.
he
Yeah,
said,
this
"Hey,
shit
who
is
the fuck
crazy,
you talking
bro.
about?"
Yeah, that nigga.
Yo, this
that
shit
nigga
really
pulled
crazy.
up
Hold
on
on,
some-
dog.
Damn,
My
did this
BS.
nigga kick me out this
Yeah,
time?
he got
Okay,
rid of you on
yeah.
some,
Hey,
on
let
some
me-
king
hey, watch
shit.
it.
He heard you call
Hey,
him
let
a
me
bitch.
tell you what it is,
Why
bro.
you
Let me
talking
tell you what it
crazy?
is.
What's up with you, yo?
Let me
Yeah,
tell
he
you what
heard
it
that
is,
bitch
bro.
ass nigga shit. He wasn't standing
Well,
for
well,
that
okay,
shit.
well, let me
He
tell
had
the
already
world.
I got
kicked
it.
me
I
when
got
the
it.
Well, let me
countdown
tell the world,
started.
Slim,
Hold
before
on,
you
Pools.
start.
I got it. I got it.
Okay.
So this what it is, man. Nigga, I've had 100% attendance on this podcast forever.
Oh my god!
I have never not
Don't
had to be on a
start. Don't start
podcast, bro.
dick sucking yourself.
What
Slim.
Hey, bro.
What I'm saying is, I have never not had to be on a podcast, so I don't know what I'm doing, nigga. I'm trying to figure out how to leave. So
But
I
you
kicked
made
you and
me leave.
KTL out.
Just close the fucking app, bro.
That
I
nigga
was
tried
gonna
to
remove
kick
myself from the stream, stupid.
Just
So what
leave
do you
your
want to do,
phone.
bro?
Leave your
So
phone where it's at.
I removed Puos by accident. I removed you before that. So
See
now
what I'm
finna remove
saying?
myself. Yeah, well, KTL, it's the curse of being here every week.
Hey
nigga.
man, this is Crash Course, man. K-Slim trying to fuck it up, but it is what it is, man.
Sound like you might just need to park it, bro.
100%
I guess.
attendance, nigga.
Park it.
What you finna go do, Slim? Like grab some more hot dogs with your
Hell
bare hand?
Mm-hmm.
Stop touching hot dogs with your hands.
He can't help himself.
That shit is sick. But all right, man. Saw 3, man. Y'all ready to get into this hole or what?
The hot dog hand crusher.
That shit disgusting. Y'all introduce yourselves. Oh, that's
Fucking weirdo.
Look at this guy.
How that nigga still up here, dog?
Mm-hmm.
Did you do that?
What is it?
Trey would have had to do it.
Do what?
It was some
Put
nigga.
RJ up on the screen.
I don't know how to do the shit like that. I just started coming back in here.
That boy Slim trying to sabotage the pod from beyond the grave. That's
That
crazy.
nigga's a hating ass nigga. He want the only show he ain't on to be a failure.
Hell
So
yeah,
he
no
did
shit
reason.
on there.
Fuck wrong with him? That's
Weird
fucked
ass
up,
nigga.
Slim.
But all right, man. So yeah, y'all. I don't even feel like we got to do the introductions and shit, man. My boy John, don't pull up, my boy. Links in the Discord, cuz.
Turn
Never
Discord.
mind. There you go. Never mind. Rest in peace, John. But yeah, we ain't gotta do no intros and none of that shit, man. We gonna get directly into it. Saw 3, man. We
Fire.
deep into this hole, man. First things first. Any notable cast work to talk about, man?
Nah, Big Bad Tobin Bell.
Carried
Just some
again.
random other niggas, man.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he
none of
carried
these-
Amanda back in this bitch. You know what I'm saying? She
That
was
bitch
cool.
Amanda, hoe. Keep it a buck.
Yeah.
I mean, I started to realize like that bitch was kind of bad in this movie, though.
She was a lot better looking in this movie than the previous two. I agree entirely.
But
I mean, when they got that Lynn bitch in there, I really wasn't paying no attention to Amanda.
Now that Lynn bitch smoked her boots like bad too.
that shit crazy.
Lynn 30 for sure, but Amanda 30'd her previous 2 appearances.
I get it.
Yeah, she's competing with herself, huh?
Like, yeah.
Even she running her own race.
Yeah, I hit Lynn raw though if we keep it a buck.
Of course. Yep. But
Doctor,
yeah, so
all that.
it's Big Bad Tobin Bell with a couple of returning characters and some randoms that, not a whole lot of them turned in a crazy performance. You know what I'm saying?
I think
Amanda served a plot importance, but like I'll get to her in a little bit. Like I don't know. Lynn was good. I think Lynn's performance was good.
I think Jeff was kind of ass.
I think acting wise, Amanda was terrible. Like her last little monologue about, the shit at the end, I ain't gonna spoil it too early. But I was like, from an acting standpoint, absolutely pathetic. I was listening to that shit like this shit sucked, like bad too. Like I was honestly saying that to myself. Like if you get a chance, go back and just watch that last little monologue where she going through like the importance of shit, and it's pathetic. Like I was like, this is like bullshit acting. Like, this is absolutely horrible. I said that to myself a few times. Like, yeah, this is fucking terrible.
Oh, there's another. No, I'll tell you, there's somebody we'll get to who did some bullshit acting in this fucking
I
movie,
think
bro.
Tobin Bell wasn't even as good as his previous self either. He had
I
some
don't think that was
bullshit.
his fault though. I think his character was forced to be bedridden for most of the
Nah,
movie.
he
and
said
shit.
some bullshit. That nigga was like, "Death is a surprise party." That shit was ass. So
Yeah.
bitch ass on.
I don't even remember hearing that.
I
He
do.
said that shit. He wasn't as clean, but he still the cleanest nigga. So, like, in a room full of dirty ass niggas, as long as you average, you look
He got a
clean.
stain on his shirt,
And
but
that's
that's
what it
about it.
is.
Like,
Yeah,
he
like,
spilled some yak on his shirt and shit.
he ain't got no grass stain, but he probably
Hell
didn't,
no.
get the bleach out all the way. But it's cool though. I
So,
fuck with
all
it.
right,
First,
yeah,
I
let's
was,
start at the start of the movie, right?
yeah. I open
So,
up the joint, pause if
go ahead,
necessary.
bro.
This was coming into the series. From what I've known, I haven't seen them all. I didn't know of this many movies, but from the 7 that I've seen, Saw 3 always stood out as one of my favorites. It was the one I watched the most coming up, and it was for a couple of reasons. Number one, opening up I can't think of what the tradition. I guess the tradition continues as being extraordinarily compelling from the opening scene. Right, that's always how Saw is. Like, as soon as it starts up, it grabs your attention from the jump, and it picks up right where Saw 2 left off with Officer Eric Matthews, his last name.
Yes, sir.
Donnie
Detective,
Wahlberg just
yeah,
yelling that
big
that
bad
bitch is
Donnie
a fucking
Wahlberg.
bitch.
It's still tied up in that motherfucker, chained up in that damn room and shit. Funny thing I learned that bathroom that they used is the same bathroom that was in Scary Movie 4. That scene is the exact
For
replica of the
real.
first two. Yeah, I found that out earlier today, which is
All
crazy.
right.
But yeah, so he's still chained up into that bathroom type shit, and he learns that by looking around, getting context clues, and seeing who, like, is other dead bodies in there, and there are other chopped off foots in there. So he comes up with the idea that, damn, the only way out of this chain is to cut off my own foot. So he finds the chainsaw, tries to cut the chain that's actually holding him in there. Obviously, you're not gonna cut no fucking chain with no little, hand saw.
Bone saw.
Yeah, so he goes to bone saw, pussy to his leg, but he bitches out because he a hoe. That's the whole idea that he a hoe. So then he finds like a shovel in.
I don't know if I can call him a hoe, bro, because that shit
Man.
he did might have been worse, low key.
Yeah, either way, like, that shit was painful
That
as a
boy
bitch.
took
Yeah.
a tank lid. He took a tank lid from the back of a toilet and beat his ankle all to shit, boy.
It might have
His
been
foot
worse,
was
low key.
fucked, boy.
That shit hurt
He
so
must have
bad.
hit that bitch 5 or 6 times, boy. Like,
But I think he was just thinking about keeping his foot. If it's broken,
I agree,
then he can
but
get it back.
man,
But
like,
yeah,
bro,
that shit is painful for
I
sure.
don't know which one's really like worse, probably.
Nigga still might be a hoe, in my opinion. But yeah, exactly that, right? He takes the tank lid, breaks his ankle, and manages to slide up out of the entrapment. So that scene is essentially by itself as far as the movie is concerned, and then it transitions over to
It's the first trap, right? Well, no, they're still
not
looking
entirely.
for him. The
Right.
woman and the black dude from the
Officer
last movie.
Carey from the last movie, and the black team, I can't remember his name from the last movie. They stumble upon a door that has been essentially what's my word? It's sealed shut, right? Like the door is sealed shut.
Shout out Luther Johnson, man.
Who was that? The black dude?
I don't know. There's a nigga in the comments named Luther Johnson.
Oh, okay.
Crazy. Luther Johnson sound like.
Shout out to you, my boy.
Hey man, get the fuck out of here.
Nah, nigga. Nah, he fucking with you, Luther.
Hey, that boy Luther Trey. He said he done after 2 hits. He said he can't crush his ankle like that.
You already in this bitch after 2 hits. You might as well finish.
Yeah, for sure. You got to go ahead and commit.
Man, I don't know, bro. Like, I probably could. Like, we put ourselves in the scenarios and shit. I probably could have did it, but god damn, that would have been tough, boy. Jeez.
Yeah, I think that's that what you just said right there. I probably could have did it, but it would have been tough. That theme is really going to make its way back at the end of the movie. I'm glad you said that because that is ultimately what the movie was about. Man. Yeah, salute to Luther though. We appreciate you pulling up. But just kind of getting back to it, right? So then it goes into the cops from the last movie kind of stumble upon the scene of what was a trap, right? Clearly somebody was in here and somebody got tortured. They stumble upon the tape, and then it starts to show flashes of what was actually going down. And Troy, who was chained up in that room and was actually had the chains actually embedded into his skin. So like he was chained up from several different places, arms, back, mouth, everything like that. And on the tape, Jigsaw tells him, hey, you've been given all types of gifts and things throughout life, and you've taken advantage of them. You haven't.
You spent a gang of time in prison.
You keep going back to prison and shit, and you had opportunities to not live that life. You must want to be chained up. So here's an opportunity to break the chains for good. And what he does is he chains him up. He tells him all he has to do is break out of the chains, and then get out of the room before a bomb blows up. He got 90 seconds. As soon as the tape ends, the countdown starts. Troy literally manages to rip his skin and rip these hinges
boy,
off
a couple
of his body.
of them bitches was through his Achilles tendons, boy.
Oh my God, that shit's painful. This is in my opinion where the gore really turned up and saw. I feel like
the worst one. Clearly.
The traps got extremely gruesome at this point, but that also does make its point at the end of the movie as well. But yeah, so he manages to rip almost all of them out. He gets to the very last one, and it's the one that's wired to his mouth, and he doesn't.
I don't think he could have did it, bro. Like regardless of
I
think
he literally killed him, or I don't think
his jaw would have separated.
That was the point of it. He literally couldn't have done it.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying.
And then they find out that even if he had got all of the chains out and made it to the door, he would have still died in the explosion because the door was sealed shut.
Exactly.
Fun fact, right? I saw it like years ago, like, you know, because I've been big into the Saw lore for a little bit, and I've like seen videos of where like how people could have survived every trap and shit. And so I've seen like one on there, and people was saying, you know, like just a fun little fan theory or whatever. That motherfucker was in a classroom and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like a little ass classroom. They were saying that, like, if he got all that shit right or whatever, he could have just flipped some desks over and shit and probably survived that bomb behind them bitches.
I don't know what they think a bomb is. That shit, hell no. That shit would have blew all them fucking chairs and shit up with his ass.
Yeah, he would have been out of there one way or the other. He was dead meat for sure. But yeah, that was essentially the first trap of the movie, which essentially doesn't have anything to do with the main plot, but that is the first trap we see. So fast forward, they get the tape home. Officer Carey from the previous movie, the one that Donnie was fucking with, she is at home. She's looking over the tape.
She kind of bad too?
A little bit.
She was actually pretty decent, yeah. Carey was pretty decent. So yeah, she's looking over the tape of Troy's game, and the tape changes. The video she's watching changes from a tape of his game to a current live stream that is being streamed from her closet. She realizes where the camera's coming from. She starts to walk over to her closet, and she grabs her gun. She takes a couple of shots in the dark. Obviously doesn't hit anything. Gets a little closer to the camera and realizes she's inside of her own closet. While she's reaching for the camera, the door behind her closed, and big bad piggy pig catches another one slipping. And that's just what big bad piggy do.
Now, once again, y'all telling me that shit would have no way, bro. That shit would not have.
It would have happened to you, bro. You gonna be lighting a hookah, and that bitch gonna be sitting right there by the stove and just gonna stab the fuck out you with a syringe.
If I see me live streaming my own shit, I'm not taking no warning shots.
Fired a gun into the closet.
I'm not doing that. I'm grabbing my shit and I'm easing up out my crib. I'm like, somebody doing something. That's just what I'm gonna do. I'm not shooting at my own closet. Nigga, shoes and shit in there. Why the fuck would I do that?
Shoes in there. He's like, hey, we get the fuck out of here. I'm not putting a hole in the retros. I ain't gonna lie to you.
I gotta come back and wear them hoes if I survive.
Real shit. I'm just creeping on the wall and shit, like making sure it ain't no. I know what be happening to motherfuckers. I'm a police. I know what this bitch be doing. You know what I'm saying? That shit ain't gonna be that easy.
Yeah, you done came on the scene of 17 Saw traps. You ain't figured it out by now, bitch.
Come on, man.
You let a nigga walk you in your closet, you're stupid.
That shit is ridiculous, man. But yeah, then they put that bitch in her own trap, man.
Yeah, big bad piggy subdue that bitch. And it's fast forward.
Was you finna say seduce?
Yeah, that was the wrong word. I caught myself. So subdue her, find we fast forward a little bit. Now she's in her own trap.
He's shooting through his closet.
Now this is where it becomes apparent that this is the goriest movie and the absolute.
I will stand on that.
Stand on that, Pujols. Oh yeah, that's wild. Nah, but for real, this is where
thank you for pulling up. I appreciate that.
Salute, Tori, for sure. But yeah, this is where it becomes apparent that Saw 3 is the goriest by far, and also the one with the most difficult traps. So what happens is Carrie wakes up inside an entrapment that has been jammed into her rib cage. It's connected to her rib cage, and then the TV comes on. It's Jigsaw explaining the rules to her game, which are essentially pretty simple. She has to dig the key out of a jar of acid that's in front of her before the acid dissolves the key. She tries to go for it once, acid burns. Of course it does, dummy. She goes back for it, manages to get the key after 10 very excruciating seconds or so, gets the key, unhooks the lock, and then it's still unable to
and nothing happens.
Absolutely nothing
I
happens.
gotta ask y'all two things. Like,
dog.
First of all, the whole ass tape playing it says the key will dissolve because of the acid. Nigga, she didn't play the tape until about 20 seconds. Like, the key already fucked up. So that's over
that's
there.
what I was thinking too. Yeah.
Second of all, she's splashing all that acid. Like, can't you just kind of tip that shit out
she
a
tried,
little bit?
Bro, and that
no, she didn't.
Tip.
No, she didn't, bro.
Yeah, she
did not.
Bro.
She
was
stuck
out
her
there
hand
like on the shank because I thought the same thing. And that hoe is in like a holder and shit.
She didn't,
and that bitch won't turn.
Nah, bro. That ain't how the fuck it was tipping over then if it won't turn.
What you mean I was tipping over? It wasn't.
Like, yes, it was. That shit was splashing everywhere.
I was about to say it might have moved when like she put her hand down in that bitch. But that bitch didn't tip.
Man, she could have tipped some of that shit out and made it less painful. She was fucked either way, but she could have definitely tipped some of that shit out. Yeah, hold on. Crazy. If this nigga Trey gone, how you gonna come back if Slim ain't here to bring us?
I'm getting it right now.
This was a terrible idea.
It's all good. Boy, 7. And that big bad piggy, he thought he was cold and shit. That bitch ran up on Trey now. Now he victim. And boy, I don't think some shit gonna happen to him.
The light's bright as a bitch in here. If a pig get me,
bro.
I deserve
like if it
that
happened
shit.
to Trey, how come it can't happen to you?
Hey man, we two different niggas, man. That nigga can't come back.
All it takes is a pig, bro.
Hey, somebody call Slim. This shit live,
man,
bro.
No, I sent him a message already.
Can you just continue then, like from where Trey left off at?
Trey getting back right. So you can still hear me, huh?
Yeah, you good.
All right. So Carrie, she gets put in that trap. It's all bullshit, man. Motherfucker, like one quote unquote one trap got unlocked and put right and shit. You know what I'm saying? And like that bitch just got her shit ripped off, bro. That shit was like some fucking. I think it was like an angel like vision. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like it was some angel imagery type shit. But yeah, that bitch got her whole rib cage ripped off. That hoe just flopping there.
Before that bitch was like, she was like, "You, I can't believe it's you."
Hell
like,
yeah, she seen that bitch look right at her when she died, bro. That's like crazy too, because like that bitch was there in the last movie watching that hoe go through that house. You know what I'm saying? And like watching some old shit. Like she didn't really seen this bitch. Like she's like, "Hey, you a victim and you out here like fucking me over" type shit. Mm-hmm. Like that really is wild and shit, man. But so hold on 1 second. Let's see. Yeah. So what I was saying, right? So they move on and we finally get to the actual, point of the movie and shit, right? You see Lynn, laid up with a man and shit, and they just got done having sex, I guess. You know what I'm saying? And she says she got to go into the hospital. She's a doctor, she working a surgeon, and so she says she got to go into work early.
But he pissed.
Yeah, and he's not going for it. He's like, "Hey, can we stop and talk for 5 minutes? Can you just look at me for 5 seconds? All of this." And she's just like, they're clearly emotionally distant, man. And she asks him like, "What do you want from me?" And he says, "A divorce." And
I get it.
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
when I was little, I was like, that nigga married to her, but no.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Hey. Yeah.
It's all a fucking thing. Yeah. So yeah, she go off. She go to the hospital and
dirty
shit,
bitch.
And she's just like, spaced out and shit. So they call her for some help. There's a kid that got fucked up somehow, and a motherfucker finna make the wrong medical choice and just like break the kid ribs up. My bad. See, fireworks. You don't gotta be scared to sneeze on a podcast, bro.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so that motherfucker, like she goes and saves the little dude. You know what I'm saying? And he like, you know, he starts getting back to normal, and the woman comes in. I don't understand that.
I
The
don't
woman
either.
comes and like talks crazy to her. She's like, "Oh yeah, you know, you need to get your head in the game. All this, you should have been the first one down there." Like, damn, bitch.
Nigga, she just saved the kid.
That's what I'm saying. Like, y'all was out here fucking up. What, you want her to do it quicker? Like,
yeah, I would have. Nigga, you already know me. I would have, man, off my dick, nigga. I just
pop
say, what
that
you
bitch
do?
in her bottom fucking lip.
You got to, cause what the fuck did you do? I just saved the life. Your bitch ass in here yelling at me off my dick, nigga.
That bitch was out there hating like a motherfucker.
Hating this shit, bitch. You need to learn some of this medical shit so you can save a life, bitch.
Hell yeah, but hey, John Doe, right though? Some sick bastards had to think of all these crazy traps, man.
Yeah, some nasty ass. Like, that shit was insane.
So, you know, she shortly after, you know, Lynn gets picked up and shit. You know, she like gets locked in a room and shit and abducted and shit. But she wake up in a spot, you know, that she's not familiar with, and you see Amanda walk up on her. This bitch screaming, trying to figure out what the fuck is going on. Amanda walk up on her with a knife and shit. You know, and like she basically like wheels her into the room where you see John Kramer bedridden and shit, you know what I'm saying? A far cry from the last two movies and shit. But he laid up, and long story short, they put a little shotgun, like a shotgun shell collar around Lynn's neck, and it's hooked up to the heart monitor. And she, you know, being that she is a doctor, a surgeon, etc., and like she's in charge of keeping John Kramer alive. If his heart rate drops below a certain time, a certain level, you know what I'm saying?
It's over for both of them.
Kill the fuck out of her. So, with that being said, like she's given her task, and you know Amanda frees her, and they got to figure out what the fuck to do because he's, you know, like I guess his brain is swelling or whatever, and so like he's not long for this world, right? And so I think from right there it goes into the introduction of Jeff, and you know for all intents and purposes, Jeff is the main character of this movie. Jeff, he wakes up in a box, in a crate and shit, you know what I'm saying, on top of a forklift, and he like it plays this message where he basically says, you know, you've lived your life seeking vengeance and all type of shit, you know, and this your test will be to see if you can forgive, if you can learn to let go, if you can learn to move on. So he finally finds his way back. Hey, there's Slim. He finally finds his way out of there. You know.
Yeah.
Hey, welcome back, man. We're talking about Jeff, bro.
Yeah, I'm with
you. So yeah,
going.
Jeff finds his way. You know, he gets out the box and he starts walking through this shit, this setup trap shit for him, right?
Well, KTL, right there. The Jigsaw plan for like, I'm thinking like this nigga.
You're right, that trap definitely overkill. All it took was one shell, but
that's
like,
a
they
fact.
make sure that bitch was dead.
That's a fact. But look, this nigga Jeff is in a high ass box, like off the ground. The Jigsaw like put like did he do like his due diligence and be like, hey, bro, if this nigga fall the wrong way, he could break his fucking neck.
He might have just fucked himself over, dog. Yeah, but that's like I'm not gonna lie. I feel like there probably was some like way that he was supposed to get out of there that wasn't just kicking a crate off a forklift. You feel me? Because like motherfuckers in these movies, they get real wild, brolic and shit in the midst of adversity, and it fucks them over a lot of times. You know what I'm saying? Dude, like last movie where he had to cut out his eye, he starts ripping on that fucking chain and started the timer. Like all these different folks, they be doing some dumbass shit, bro. But yeah, so Jeff, he starts making his way through this spot, and he makes his way to I think it just goes right there, right? Just to his first test, or do they have
I mean it do like a little, I ain't gonna say a monologue, but like it flashed back to the type of piece of shit that Jeff is.
Oh,
like,
he's a dickhead. This is who I was talking about earlier. Jeff, throughout this whole movie, I feel like he was like doing some terrible acting, dog.
I honestly think this is one of the, like, we watched all these movies. I don't think nobody deserved to be in these traps but this nigga. He definitely deserved this character, shit. Bro. Get your bitch ass in the salt.
Well, no, the couple people deserved to pools. We talked about
maybe that swole ass nigga from the second one.
But Detective Matthews, bro, he fucked a bitch, then took her to prison for fucking her. Like, yeah.
Yeah, him too, but nah.
He solicited a prostitute and arrested her for prostitution.
Nigga, that's his job though. You supposed
Man,
to do
but
that.
you like
That's a
half of it
sting.
is.
That's a sting, bro. But he just went along with really
That's
fucking
a
a bitch.
sting.
Yeah, usually they be like, "Hey,
That boy
police."
shit finna sting fucking on these whores. Like, but
Fuck
so
Jeff,
yeah,
though.
Jeff he's a dickhead, bro. Like you find like Jeff's son died, you know, a while back and shit, and he like never like let that shit go. You know what I'm saying? He's got a gun. He's thinking about killing the motherfucker who killed his like his son and shit. You know, and then like he started getting on his daughter ass because she went and got like a stuffed animal of her dead brother, and she wanted, you know what I'm saying? Like she a kid, bro. She missed her dead brother and shit. And he's like, how many times do I have to keep telling you this? Oh, I'm like, damn, bro, what the fuck? Like,
I can't stand this bitch
like
ass
bro,
nigga Jeff, bro.
he's such a cunt, bro.
You call that
What you
nigga
think of Jeff?
Jeff is ass. I'm gonna keep it a buck. Everything about bro is ass. The fact that he the only nigga that lived is ass. I'm glad he living
No,
in
he didn't.
agony. Fuck ass nigga. But this part of the movie is where a lot of setup is done, and I think this is where we really can appreciate the gold star level writing that happens in Saw, because we're gonna get a fairy tale essentially for the next hour. I thought that this segment right here, where it kind of gives the backstory with him putting the fake confrontation for the dude, you know what I'm saying? Like what goes on in his mind, how fucked up he is to be upset at his daughter for wanting to connect with her brother. I'm like, you a lame ass nigga, bro. So all of that shit, it starts
and
to
that's
set
as
in
a
motion.
parent.
Absolutely, it's just pathetic. But then you get the quick flashes back to the room where John Kramer is and everything like that. So him, Amanda, and Lynn, they doing their little thing. But then it leads to like the first scene and shit, or his first test. And I think this is it's almost poetic, bro. Like how he managed to get all of these people together. You know what I'm saying? Like the amount of planning it takes. Because like in your opinion, right? How long do you think Detective Matthews has been in that basement? He obviously hasn't starved to death, right? How long do you think he's been down there?
I don't think it had been that long.
That's what I was gonna say. It hasn't been that long.
Still yelling at that bitch just leaving.
Yeah, and he's still like healthy enough to, so I'm thinking maybe a couple of days, right? Maybe.
Bro, I'm telling you, I think that shit is not even like a day.
Maybe, right? So what I'm saying now is that in that time, he put all that shit together to get Detective Matthews' body, but it's right behind that has gathered up 7 more people. You feel me? Like, that's crazy.
Well, that Detective Matthews shit didn't happen simultaneously.
Yeah, we'll that shit was like back in the day. Yeah, that shit, not back in the day, but
shit
like
happened
a while ago.
A way back.
Okay, so that's what I was saying. I was like, I'm trying, y'all treating that shit like it's happening back to back type shit.
No, it was all flashbacks type shit.
Yeah, but okay, I'll say this, bro. Like Jeff gets his first test, and dog. All right, so they got a naked woman chained up in a freezer and shit, and you find out through the tape that this woman, I guess, was a witness of like when Jeff's son got hit and didn't do nothing. I guess I don't know what she was supposed to be doing, but you know what I'm saying. Like
he was supposed to just be on the stand, like, yeah, I seen him do this type shit.
All right, so
but she sped off on his ass.
Yeah, she left. So Jigsaw find her, and you know what I'm saying. Shout out to her, man. It's another attractive woman in here, but that motherfucker Jeff, bro, like so they start putting a sprinkler system on her ass, and Jeff gotta like decide if he gonna save her or he just gonna take the key and he gonna leave for himself. So that motherfucker, like, he yelling at this bitch, bro. He's sitting there like talking about, yeah, my fucking son died. You did nothing about it, all this shit. And that bitch like sitting there trying to tell him, like, bro, like I yes, but like I'm dying over here. I'm literally freezing to death. Like, what the fuck? And, bro, I ain't gonna lie. He just let that bitch turn into an icicle. Then he gonna go stick his face on the bar, like, rip his cheek off type shit. Finally, he get the key, and he think he finna be able to save that bitch.
Now, hold on. This nigga got, like, a coat on. He got a shirt on.
Why not just put the coat? Didn't put none of that on that bitch.
Yeah, like, dumbass, goofy ass nigga. Just put the coat on there and then do it like that. But
he ain't even wanna do that shit, bro, for real.
type shit.
I think of the people involved, man. Like he shouldn't have been that pissed at her, bro. Like,
yeah, she did the least out of everybody, bro.
yeah, like I feel like I mean, I can't imagine what it's like to lose a kid, bro. Like I lose a kid and a motherfucker drive off. Like you ain't see that shit, bro. I'd probably be mad as a motherfucker. But I also think, me personally, watching the bitch freeze, them titties was pretty decent too. I ain't gonna hold you.
That was nice. That was nice.
Yeah, for sure. But watching the bitch freeze is a crazy thing to experience, bro.
No, my problem is that he really went and acted like he was still trying to say this bitch, bro. She is a frozen ice sculpture. You got the key, you trying to put it in a frozen lock submerged in ice.
Yeah, bro. He knew he didn't care about that.
You was gonna do that, you should have been did that, bro.
Like, he had to come to terms with it, man. He was fighting demons, bro.
That
like,
shit lame as a bitch,
demons.
boy. That shit lame.
That nigga just can't forgive,
I'm not
bro.
saying it's not lame to be upset that your kid died, but you mad at a motherfucker because they saw it happen. That's it. Like, bro, imagine hey, bro, I just bought me a burger. I'm walking back to the crib. I see a motherfucker like hit your kid, bro. You want me dead too? Cause I'm walking eating my burger and I seen Buddy put a
come tell on this nigga or Jigsaw gonna do that to you, bitch ass.
Come on, bro. Like,
and
some shit gonna happen to me, bro. I'm gonna be like in a fucking fucked up ass trap, man. Because I decide I want an In-N-Out burger type shit.
Hey, man, get on the stand and find yourself in a freezer, nigga. Your choice.
But so you go back to
Jigsaw giving it up to niggas.
Hey, and this nigga not a murderer? Like, come on, bro.
Hey, man, somebody could have saved that bitch.
Nah, bro.
Jeff could have saved that bitch so easily.
No, that nigga put other people, like, her life was in the hand of that nigga. Like that, she didn't have nothing to do with that shit. Like she just had to depend on somebody else.
Like she really didn't do much of nothing. So like I agree with that. But also, like, come on, bro. That's like Jeff, you could have saved that bitch so easily, boy.
He really got goofy because as the like his progression went on, he could have had more people to help him get through this shit.
And that was the point too. I don't know where he was going to find some clothes for that naked bitch, but shit.
Yeah, I'm gonna wait till we get to the end to say it, but I think that's a part of the theme of the movie.
It is.
Though. Like
they've done this a couple times in the movies, right? And I think that's cold. But so
yeah, he let her die because he's too much of a bitch to get over out of his chest and shit and save her. So you know, he comes out of the freezer room, and there's another box with more instructions. Each box has a different part of a picture that was once one whole picture.
If a different item, he got a bullet.
So yeah, the next one he gets a bullet, and he gets a picture of his son, and now he's getting led to another room. Flashback. John Kramer, he needs help. He had a seizure. It's time to do something about it. So
up all over himself.
Lynn starts to make her diagnosis, and that she thinks it's a good idea to perform surgery and remove a part of his skull because his brain is pressing up against his skull and it's causing too much pressure. So she grabs whatever.
Amanda wasn't going for it.
Amanda didn't like that shit, but we're gonna get into why Amanda asked anyway. So she starts to perform the procedure. She needs Amanda's assistance. She peels back his scalp, uses a bone saws or some type of
like a fucking
saw blade.
Dremel with a saw blade on it.
Yeah, so she drills his head open, legitimately drills his head open, and then takes a saw blade and cuts off his scalp, and then does relieve some pressure. But while that's happening, John goes into like these lucid states. Yeah, like he starts having these like daydreams, so to speak, about a woman, right? He keeps seeing the same woman, and he starts in his lucid state to look at Lynn as the woman he is daydreaming about. Amanda is pissed. Okay, so this emotional bitch starts seeing him connect with another hoe, and she get in her chest, so she leave the room, right? She leave the room, she's salty and shit. She come back and give John the report, like, hey, he made it out of the first room. He tried to save her, right? She really capping because he really didn't try to save her.
He didn't, no.
Nah, but I mean, it is what it is. So fast forward, he goes on to room 2. This room has the judge who presided over the case of the
This is the most disgusting trap in Saw. is
fucking filthy.
horrible.
That shit
So he
sick.
walks in the room and he gets another tape recording. The tape recording says exactly that. This is the judge who presided over the case, so on and so forth. I know you've been looking for fingers to point. He only gave him 6 months. You felt like he didn't administer real justice. So he's laying at the bottom of an open pit.
Chain around his neck.
Yeah, he's chained to the bottom of that shit. He's absolutely stuck in that hole. And he gets instructions that he can let him out by letting go of the past. And what that includes is all of his son's possessions, like the stuffed animals and shit from the earlier scenes, things that really cherish, the things he's been holding on to that belong to his son. He has to burn all of that shit and get rid of it entirely. And it'll open a door that has the key to release the judge from the bottom. If he doesn't do this, then the machine he is in is something like a butcher, right? So like it's bringing in dead, like week-long rotted pigs that are completely maggot-infested pig corpse.
Movie off, huh?
I'm gonna keep it a buck. I skipped this scene at 30 years old. This shit is disgusting. But maggot-infested pig carcasses are just being dumped into a blender.
They turned into slush on him.
Yeah, so they're being shredded on contact, and then that filth is being poured right onto the judge, and it's nonstop. It's gonna keep happening until he drowns in a vat of pig carcass blended. Yeah, so he sees the first one happen, and he's like, "Man, fuck this nigga." You know, he does the same thing that he's gonna do throughout the movie, and he like expresses his frustrations first. Right, like, why didn't you do this? Why didn't you do that? Because he still
Judge tried to cop a plea. He's like, we can get him more time. He says,
yeah, that nigga, there are ways to extend the sentence. I ain't never think he was gonna say that.
But that nigga was like saying some bitch ass shit. Like, don't end up just like him. Like, bro, get your bitch ass on.
He's trying to appeal to the morality. He don't know. He just let Shorty freeze to death with his titties out, boy. He don't give a fuck about you, old man.
Yeah, that's a fact. I think if I had to decide between the old white man and the hoe with her titties, I'm saving the bitch with the titties.
Clearly, it's not a question, bro.
My wife cheating on me too. I'm definitely saving her with the titties.
Is like one of the worst ways I can think of.
Man, oh my god, this is the least gruesome way, and it's easily the worst.
No, it ain't.
Just smelling that shit. I probably would have
the rack
up all over myself while smelling that shit and just died.
Yeah,
like
man,
that.
just dying.
You would have did what?
I probably would have just been throwing up off the smell and just died. Because he land on his back.
Can't breathe and shit.
Yeah, so that shit get in his nose. He can't cover his face or nothing. Like, that shit is disgusting. But yeah, so like he like 3, 4, 5 pigs go on, and what's his name? Jeff decides like, all right, man, fuck it. So he starts to light that shit on fire. The pigs don't stop coming, by the way. So like more pigs.
He said he in way too deep. Hell yeah, he is.
Luther Johnson, you on some other shit, my boy.
That shit funny as hell.
Tweaked out? What'd he do?
He said he in way too deep.
Oh, you're tweaking.
You wildin', Luther. You wildin', my boy.
Terrific. But yeah, so that's essentially what happens there, man. So he does end up burning his son's stuff. It does open up the trap door with the key to unchain the judge. He jumps in that vat of fucking pig.
Bro, when he gets to him, only his nose and mouth, like that shit already.
Yeah, it's getting in this nigga mouth and shit.
Oh my god, he is almost completely submerged in this shit. So maybe a pig or two more, and he would have started to drown in that shit. Yeah, so he did save him in the nick of time, which turns out to be the first person he saves, which is essentially ridiculous, but whatever. So they get out of there and they go on to the next room. So you jump to the other room. They go back to where John, Amanda, and Leon are. The surgery was a success. She done wrapped his head up and all that good shit. And he starts to say something to Leon about, like, you know, her value and all this other shit. And Amanda, she not hearing that shit, bro. She go in another room and cut herself.
Hold on, bro. Before that, she grabbed one of them instruments and just started squeezing on that hoe, boy. That bitch just started bleeding out her hand.
Yeah. Her hand started bleeding. She had one of those fucking those tools from the side thing over there. And she self-inflicts. So you can see her doing the self-inflicted pain and shit. So she's cutting herself. She's bleeding out of other good shit.
Hey, I'll be that guy. I know I shouldn't be, man, but like I'm sitting there watching the movie, bro, and like I looked away for a second. I look at my phone. I look back, and this bitch in her drawers sitting on the bed. I'm like, man, what the fuck? Like, what I missed, man? Like, it's kind of a bad bitch in her drawers. This movie might got interested, and then she started. I'm like, oh, never mind. I was wrong. Like,
hey, man, you never know,
bitch, man.
But yeah, so you see that, and then John is starting to, talk to Lynn about, essentially what's going on. Amanda hate that shit. We flash back to...
That bitch so mad.
Yeah, that bitch salty. So we flash back to the judge and Jeff. They're, kind of continuing on through the building and shit. And they find a door that's labeled, "Here's your chance," right? And there's another picture of...
in the last box,
good look though, bro.
He got a magazine. There was a magazine in the box.
Yeah,
So got a bullet in the magazine now.
If you on your okay, you done went through. Okay, this the first lady. Yeah, she got something to do with my son. This the bitch that pulled off on us. Okay, second, this the judge. Okay, wait a minute. All this shit is correlate. Like all this shit correlate. It gotta be the nigga who actually did it. I would have put it to get I know the next door gonna be probably the nigga.
I mean, I think he might have knew.
Nah, that nigga was shook when he seen bro. Like I can't believe this.
Boy said hoes and they pimps.
So they get to the door. "Here's your chance," is what the door reads. They get in there, and he has the guy who ran over the dude's son strapped to what is easily a top 5 trap in Saw history.
Jesus,
so much so that it has a name, and it's called the Rack. And
John Kramer said it's his personal favorite.
Yeah, and I think it's very memorable.
A sick son of a bitch.
Yeah, it's crazy. So the Rack, in short, has all 5. It's your arm, leg, and head are in
God body.
Yeah, that's crazy. So yeah, like all of those parts of your body are like kind of strapped and nailed down individually, and each one of them will turn until it cannot turn anymore, and then like with the head going last. So he tells him, the tape recorder is around his neck. He presses the button and says, "Hey, this is your guy right here. This is the dude that you've been dreaming of getting for the last 3 years. I put him right in front of you. But keep in mind, he's 27. He's a medical student. He's got a mother and father just like you. His life changed that day just like yours. He's remorseful about what he did. Can you forgive him? The only way to do that is to let him down. Now, the way to let him down is to get the key and unlock him from his machine. But the key is tied to a shotgun trigger. And if he's to pull the key and release it, he would have to take the blast of a shotgun. And there's no other way around it because the shotgun is encased.
My mama was on site.
The shotgun is encased inside this this box here. So he decides that, the only way to get free is to reach out here and grab this key. So the judge is looking like, I can't believe this shit going on. The judge goes over there and kind of tests it. He pulls it a little bit, and he can see how sensitive it is. The slightest tug too far is going to pull that shotgun blast. So the tape recording goes off, and the machine instantly clicks, and like it starts turning one of his arms. Dude screaming, the judge trying to figure out a way to get him out of there. He yelling at Jeff, like, "Come on, bro, what you gonna do? You gonna let him get out of
standing there looking in space like a fucking idiot."
Jeff has no fucking urgency at all.
Hell no.
So he has none at all. So then he's like, so judge's like, "Are you a murderer? You know better than," you know what I'm saying? He's like, "Maybe
at that point, he had already got 2 of his legs broke off, bones sticking through the flesh type shit.
Yeah, that shit was over.
Yeah, he was like, "Man, maybe I am. I've been wanting to kill him for 3 years, and maybe I am just as bad as him." Woo, woo, woo. So then, after 2 arms and a leg are already completely turned to the opposite side and just broken in half, he decides, "Man, fuck it, let me try and get this key." So he goes over there, starts fiddling with it. And he finally gets the key off without blowing the shotgun. And as he removes his hand, the swing back from the string blows the shotgun. He gets out of the way, but it takes the judges. Like the judge was just standing in the wrong.
Yeah,
come on,
crazy,
like,
bro.
don't you think like if you doing this shit? Wouldn't you be like, "Hey man, I'm over here fighting
out
with this
the way,
shotgun,
bro."
Yeah, like this is
go to
terrible.
the other side of the room.
Like I get that they had to let it happen, but come on, bro. If I see this nigga,
Bro, that's crazy. He was minding his business and shit, man.
Minding his business would have been anywhere but in the direction of that shotgun. Like, it's so much space for you not to get shot right now.
Man, no, but I said this in the last movie about Buddy standing in front of that keyhole, bro. You could have been anywhere but right there, and you caught a bullet to the face,
but
bro.
In that situation, at least he had a reason to be looking out of the keyhole. Like, just to see
but Buddy was standing there, like, when he got hit with that hoe, he was standing in front of the dude getting his shit broke. Like, he wasn't just there. You know what I'm saying?
Go to the nigga.
What was he going to do, though? Like, you thought you was going to be able to pick him up and take him out of there? Like, get your dumb ass out of the way.
I think that nigga was just like trying to be there for comfort because he kept saying, "I got you, son. I got you."
He said it's gonna be okay. No, it ain't, bro.
It's not gonna be okay, bro. That nigga's neck is getting broken right now.
Bro, I don't. Regardless of any of this, if you get me out this hole, bro, you done broke my bone into like 3 different directions, bro. I'm fucked up for life.
Yeah, it's over for him. Like niggas ain't.
So
He a medical student, bro. I assume he want to be a surgeon or some type of shit. You can't use your hands and shit like that no more.
he ain't got to worry about nothing. He want to be that shit over
Yeah,
with.
that shit done with.
He can't be shit no more.
Oh fuck no.
He's useless. Man, that nigga.
Boy, you
Nigga
better get a work from home job. You better
Go
go to
learn
a
how to
call
be
center.
Professor
he
X
better
or
hope
some
he can
shit.
breathe from home after that shit.
Go to a call center, bro. Motherfucker.
So he does get the key.
Throw me in some needles, bro. Don't put me in no shit like
don't
this.
put me in that shit. Throw me in some needle. Put me.
Trey, this is the worst way
You know
to
what,
die.
bro? Put me in a room with them niggas. Pause. I'd rather do that shit than the nigga twisting my damn legs around.
Boy, it's like, put me in
Man, you can chain me in a bathroom with a dude. Just don't put me in no rat.
Oh god.
Let me cut my foot off and shit. At least
that's
foot,
crazy.
Man. But yeah,
he ultimately does not get the key in time, and he looks up.
He got the key, but I guess he couldn't
not
find
in
it
time.
unlock it. Like,
I mean, it wouldn't matter.
That nigga was like walking.
Okay,
like,
he got
what
the
was
key
he
before
doing when
died,
Buddy died?
but
Like, it was like he was just holding on to the machine.
Thank you, I appreciate
looking
it.
at the back of that nigga neck bone poking out his shit. What the fuck he was doing?
Yeah, he got to the key before he died, but even if he would have unlocked it, like nigga, he's dead, bro.
How you gonna get him out? Like,
he was trying to like hold that nigga neck so his shit wouldn't go. Like,
yeah, you think
stronger than this machine?
Yeah, I was about to say, Jeff, you think you're stronger than
hate this nigga Jeff, bro.
With gears, bro. Like,
this nigga Jeff is pathetic,
bro. He's so garbage.
But just
bro.
look
he
how
might
he was
be the worst
moving though,
character
Trey.
I ever seen, bro.
That
like,
nigga, like he looked like, yeah, I just gotta do my laundry today. Do
Yeah.
my taxes. Like, nigga, if you don't move
bro, he was
fast,
like me if I was sad. Like,
like what's up with
that nigga has no urgency or concern for niggas that
bro,
die
I
terribly
think
in front of him.
in all the movies we've seen, he might be the worst character I ever seen, and let me tell you why.
he is.
Because him being so ass caused multiple people to die. A bad bitch died, or at least somewhat bad bitch died. An old man died. A little dude died. And then, like, even more shit happened later on, bro. He caused the death of multiple people through either his own actions or his own inaction. And he never did no clean shit through the whole movie.
He did do one clean thing.
No, he did not.
Bro, you was a piece of shit to your wife. You was a piece of shit to your daughter. You was a piece of shit to all these people.
What clean thing did he do? And I hope let's hear it.
You don't think that one shot was clean?
Through that bitch neck?
Come on, bro. And he did that shit quick scope too. Like looked up, bang, bitch, right in the neck. That shit was clean.
Not clean.
That shit was clean as fuck, especially because Amanda a hoe.
I get why he did it. I'm not gonna say it's not clean, but it wasn't like this is defining moment. Fuck no.
No, it don't make up for him being a piece of shit. But on its own, as a standalone action, clean as a bitch. Like I walk in and see this bitch shoot my wife up on her ass.
Hold on. So he leave a room and he find a gun. He got the magazine, the gun, and a single bullet. You feel me? So we about to get into this part, right? So Amanda's sitting back there. You go back to Amanda and Lynn and them, and Amanda's had it up to here. She done with this bullshit. She walk in there with a burner on her, and you know what I'm saying, John talking to her, and he trying to tell Amanda like, hey, don't do no stupid shit. That bitch racked that hoe, and she say, nah, like I'm sick of this shit. You picking her over me type shit. That bitch is so in her chest through the whole movie because a motherfucker giving another bitch attention. It's supposed to be like a daddy-daughter type relationship, but you acting like a jealous bitch, bro. And that motherfucker, like she's sitting there, like John trying to explain to her, like your life is in her hands. That bitch said, you gave her control over me? Fuck you, all this shit. You know what I'm saying? That bitch just can't, she can't let it go, bro. John keep trying to, he's like, I'm begging you, please don't do no dumbass shit. Like, you gonna get us all killed.
Is this before or after, like, her little monologue flashback shit? Is that after or before?
This is like during it. It's about to happen all together.
Yeah, like that, and then we
gotta talk about this.
Go ahead, talk about it.
Okay, man. First, he tell her, like, bro, those traps that you were setting up were not survivable. He tell her that, like, I know you killed motherfuckers. So then she go to the flashback with Detective Matthews and shit. Buddy break out the room yelling, bitch, I'ma kill you. Nah, he fell over and she heard.
Well, she had already murdered Adam. She went and suffocated Adam ass with a bag and shit.
She bodied Adam, whole ass bitch, killed that nigga.
That shit's ass.
So my man's break out.
He slammed his face on the toilet when he had a bag over his face.
Oh shit!
That boy joking, he start thrashing around, just smack his shit on a fucking toilet.
That nigga was ass too. Adam was ass. He probably my favorite character. He was ass.
He's so horrible.
That nigga Detective Matthews break out. You know what I'm saying?
I'll kill you, bitch.
He falling over and shit. She heard that shit. She go back. The nigga getting beating her ass with a stick.
He got a stick or a pipe. And
he tried to hit that hoe with that bitch, but he landed on his foot. Niggas,
that nigga fell over.
That bitch. Who else he stepped on that bitch wrong? That bitch folded like a sneaker.
That nigga crawled and got on top of the hoe, punched the fuck out that bitch, beat her head against the wall. She kicked, bro.
He had a knife or some shit. He was finna get after that bitch.
Oh, it was almost
Where
over.
is my son? She say, "He right here. You piece of shit." Kick that boy square in his shit again.
Hey, this my shit right here though. She leave his bitch ass in the dark, bro. She walking. That nigga
and
broke that bitch.
Talking shit.
Hey, look, this he broke her down. First he, bitch. Then that nigga say, you know what? Bitch, you'll never be Jigsaw.
He whispering at that. He say, "You're not Jigsaw, bitch." That bitch say, "What the fuck you say?"
That bitch, he told that bitch, "You'll never be Jigsaw." That hoe fell to her knees. He broke that bitch down.
Bro, he's not even yelling at that bitch. She a mile away. He's not even yelling at that bitch.
He been yelling at that bitch for 2 movies.
Yeah, and then he's whispering. He say, "And you a bitch? A bitch? What?" Like
that bitch never be Jigsaw. Hell no, I'm finna kill this bitch ass nigga for that shit. That's funny, my favorite part, bro.
His foot is so fucked, bro. Like he walking with a stick with his ankle turned into ground beef. Like,
shout out to Detective Matthews.
But yeah. So okay, so keep going, Pools. You was talking about the monologue, man. Like,
oh, that's it. Then she just kept like tripping out, like just doing weirder and weirder shit. She just,
bro, yeah, but Jigsaw like figure out that like this bitch, she put that bitch in the trap where she like won that hoe, but she still died. He put Troy in that bullshit trap where like he couldn't have got out that hoe. Like, bitch, you just out here killing people. Like Jigsaw, we talked about for the past 2 movies. You follow the rules that he give you, you gonna make it. You know what I'm saying? And like she like you're just killing people. Like you feel like they deserve to be punished. But you know what I'm saying? So he like Jigsaw told this bitch, "Hey, don't kill this hoe." That bitch couldn't help it. She ain't even look at that bitch. She just pointed that bitch sideways and just let one off.
That shit was kind of clean. Like
it was.
How did she like that whole strong as hell? That had no kickback on the gun or nothing.
Stop blowing that big ass gun. She just moping. She was like Eeyore and shit with a fucking burner and shit. Just bow. Why bother? Like.
I was back. That's unrealistic as hell. That skinny ass bitch would have been on the floor blowing that bitch.
Man. But right as that shit happened, Jigsaw tell her, he say, "You done fucked up. You like," he say, you destroyed 4 lives just now." And Jeff walk in and just bam, one through the throat of that bitch. That bitch laying there on the floor. She regret all the shit she did.
He was already in that bitch, KTL.
Well, I'm saying he was like walking in that hole whenever, like, because he walked in there right as she got shot, because like she was trying to run out to him.
Oh yeah, he caught her.
And yeah, and so like John Kramer starts explaining. He's like, all right, he was like, you know what you did? Like you done fucked up 4 lives. You done got us all killed. You killed Jeff's wife. You know what I'm saying? That's when you find out this is his wife, bro, the whole time. That's a crazy twist to me. First off, in itself,
extreme.
Like, but. She like he tells her, he's like, you've been like killing all these people, but I still wanted to believe you could do some good shit. So I organized one more test. You like she had her test, but like she was your test. All you had to do was be able to look past yourself to forgive somebody, to give them the gift of life and shit. And you done fucked that shit up now. He was like, I really like I connected with you more than anybody, and I wanted to believe that you could have took this shit over after it was over with. But, like, look, you done fucked it all up now. And you can see, bro, like, tears running down his cheek. Like, he really, like, hurt behind that bitch fucking up, man. But, like, that's what's cold about the John Kramer character, bro. Like, he knows that bitch probably gonna fuck up, but he not gonna stop her. He gotta let her make her own mistake and shit.
You know? Yeah, and I think as you can see the difference between like her traps and his traps, like she did the Troy trap, she did the Carrie trap. Both of those were literally no matter what you do, you die. And then like you look at the ones he set up for Jeff, the lady in the freezer, she could have been saved. The dude in the pig, that he was saved.
Yep.
And then the dude with the whole thing, like, yeah, you gotta take a shotgun blast, but it's possible for everybody to survive. You feel me? So it's just like,
and even with like he like Amanda's test and shit, like he was telling her, he was begging with that bitch. He wanted her to win that hoe.
Yeah, he said, take it off of her. Like, I'm trying to give you, this is you. If you can just take it off of her, she'll like you'll pass your test. So it's like literally his instructions are cruel as hell, but it's winnable. Like, it's a game.
And that bitch was hating too. She said, no, he's not finished. Like he hasn't made it here yet. Like, he finished all the traps, but he ain't make it here. Get the fuck.
For sure.
Well, she did some other bullshit too when she said that nigga Detective Matthews didn't change. Like, bitch, how you know? He just had to fuck up his foot, and he seen the person who set it up. So of course he gonna be upset and beat your ass. Like, what the fuck, nigga?
She mad she told her she wasn't jigsaw.
Hey, that boy Luther said that's why she cheating, because he ass. Like,
that's a fact. He is ass.
But Puos, that's what we was talking about right at the start of the movie. He say, that's what I want. I want a divorce. He wanted her to divorce Buddy.
Yeah, divorce Jeff.
And that's really some cold misdirection, bro. Like,
absolutely.
Yeah, that was great, low key.
But so Jeff get in that hole, and he see John Kramer, and John Kramer basically tells him, like, all right, Jeff, well, you made it through. He say, you got one last test. I want to play a game. He say, he say, your wife is laying over there on the floor dying. You have two options. There's a whole bunch of fucked up barbaric tools over there that you can use to get vengeance on me from what I put you and your wife through, or you can forgive me, learn to let go, take your wife. I can call an ambulance. They can have her to the hospital in 4 minutes. You can go home and y'all can be a family again and shit. He says, but you cannot kill me, but the choice is yours. And that motherfucker Jeff, he go over there, he fucking with a saw blade. He throw that bitch down. He done finally learned his lesson and shit. He walk over and he, put his hand on the motherfucker. He say, I forgive you. And, then you hear Lynn say, Jeff, that boy picks up a big fucking buzzsaw and shit. Slice Buddy neck clean open, dog. And John Kramer's dead, man. He plays the tape. He knew what was going to happen. He tells him, all right, Jeff, like, this was a safety precaution, and if you're hearing this, you failed your final test. He says you weren't able to forgive and let go, and I warned you about all of this shit. So I told you couldn't kill me, but I didn't tell you why. I'm the only person who knows where your daughter's at, and she got a limited amount of air. The door slammed shut behind Jeff. He's stuck in that hole. He says, you can find her location, but we're going to play another game. And that boy Jeff is just screaming as the movie ends.
Okay.
As soon as Jigsaw heart rate goes lower, Lynn gets her face blown off by the shotgun collar trap. Everybody in that room except for Jeff is now dead, and he's got to try to figure out how to get to his daughter wherever she put up at and shit.
Now,
you know what I'm saying?
This is where I ask. I know Trey muted, but this is where I ask both of y'all.
Yes.
Okay. If y'all, because I'm gonna tell you how I would have handled the situation, but if y'all was
as Jeff.
Yeah, and at the end, how would y'all handle? Would y'all have cut bro up, or would y'all been like, I'm gonna forgive him?
I'm gonna be honest, bro. I don't think like I would have that rage in my heart for him, because realistically speaking, like if I'm Jeff, the whole time I'm a weird sociopath. I'm mad at that dude that just died. You feel me? I guess like he could be mad at Jigsaw because, oh, you killed him, and I don't even get the satisfaction of killing him or whatever. But, like, what are you really mad at Jigsaw for? First off, nothing really happened to you beyond, like, you getting your cheek ripped off and you had to burn some of your kids' shit, for real. Like, that's the extent of what happened there. He didn't kill your wife. That other bitch killed your wife, and that, you killed her.
Well, you killed your wife, too.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, like, afterwards. But I'm saying, like, if I had to make the choice.
Oh, yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, what am I mad at John Kramer for? What did he do to me besides put me, like, in a situation?
Okay. That's your answer.
Okay.
What's your answer, Trey?
Me personally, I think I would have learned something. You know what I'm saying? Like, every time I listen to one of these fucking tape recordings or hear this nigga, I find out that a motherfucker could be saved if I just do what he asking me to do. You know what I'm saying? Like, something will go right if I
I
just
can
listen.
move on with my life.
Yeah, like, so the whole thing is like, okay, if I would have done this, I could have saved. If I would have done this, I would have, like. So now it's like, can you forgive me and save your wife, or are you gonna take your vengeance and fumble your bag again? I wouldn't have, like. I'm like, I gotta let this shit go, bro.
Okay.
Bro, she's
Moment,
bleeding out on the floor, bro. My wife is bleeding out on the floor. Boy, what is my plan after I kill this dude?
Yeah, like everything I've seen has been when I take the bad route, motherfuckers die. Like, I gotta learn at one point or another. Like, it's motherfuckers dying on the floor right here, right
Jeff
now.
is so fucking ass.
I'm gonna tell you what I would have did, man. I would have chopped it up with him. Yeah, called the ambulance. Make sure they here in 4 minutes, like you said. After he did all that shit, I would have smacked the fuck out that bitch ass nigga for that shit, bro. I would have, cause nigga, don't. Okay, yeah, I forgive you, but don't put me like you put me through some shit. I'm not gonna kill you, but I'm gonna slap the shit out this nigga, bro. On his deathbed, I'm gonna slap
him in his bottom fucking lip.
No, nigga, backhand slap the shit out this bitch.
That shit might kill him, bro. He ain't got a whole lot.
I was thinking,
bro, he got a hole in the back of his skull. You gonna knock his brain out that hole? Like,
I'm gonna slap it. I ain't gonna do no Mortal Kombat Saw shit like that nigga did. He did a fatality on that nigga. Yeah, I'm gonna just slap the shit out that bitch.
That shit's
weak ass nigga trying to do some clean shit and fumble.
Goofy cut that nigga throat. Just smack that bitch ass nigga for that shit. Cause I forgive you, but it's just like if one of y'all niggas did some shit, I'm gonna forgive y'all, but we gotta run the one or something, or you gotta let me slap the shit out you or something.
You gotta let me slap this shit.
If you don't want to let me slap you, we gotta run the one. Something gotta happen to this nigga, bro. You ain't finna do this for the free.
Like I say, bro, like for me personally, I get what you saying, but like I feel like nothing really happened to Jeff, bro. He had to burn some shit and he got his cheek fucked up by a frozen bar, bro. Like some of these other folks, like, you know what I'm saying? In the past straps, Dr. Gordon had to cut his own foot off. You know what I'm saying? The motherfuckers, like, in some other shit, like, got some bad shit happen to him. Jeff got off easy by
he really hold himself, bro. He hold himself.
Bro, he's ass. I'm not going to keep saying it.
Worst nigga, bro.
He's fucking horrible. But, so, yeah, I think that's like that was a great set of twist endings, bro. Like, you know. Absolutely. They did like 3 of them bitches back to back, and them bitches was bananas each time, bro.
Yeah, every twist, it being Amanda's test instead of Lynn's was crazy. Jeff and Lynn being married was crazy, and him literally saying in the beginning, at the end of this, I will bring you face to face with the person who is responsible for your child going missing. Right? And it's him though. You know,
it's him, bro. It wasn't nobody else. Like,
yeah, that's crazy.
And then, bro, like, that shit is wild, too, because, like, a motherfucker, you know, like, they killing the John Kramer character, so you're like, oh, shit, well, you know, this must be over, like, finna be over with type shit. A motherfucker literally, even as he's dying, says, all right, well, yo other kid, you know what I'm saying, like, the only thing you got left is locked up in a fucking room with barely any air. Now you done kill me, you gotta figure it out. Come on, let's get back in the game. Like, that
nigga, bro. Yeah, wicked, cold nigga, bro.
Dog. But
I fuck with it.
Yeah, do y'all have anything else y'all want? Like I say, I think Jeff was a terrible actor. Y'all think Amanda did some terrible acting? Trey, you want to talk about the monologue, I guess?
Oh, she was pathetic. I guess a quick overview, man, is that watching it again, I remember why I always was a big fan of it. The twists are crazy. The traps were insane, even though like they were unfair. They were absolutely gruesome. But it's just, excuse me, got the hiccups. It's great story writing. It's just like to have so many plot twists all tied in at once. How well thought out it needs to be, and him to even have that insurance policy at the end, and like you can really see like, even though John Kramer is an absolute piece of shit, for him to have still like that level of humanity, like, bro, forgive these people and everybody lives. Like, let this shit go and everybody lives. Even at the end when motherfuckers are dying, like, I could have saved your wife. You and like your daughter needs you more than ever now. Like, niggas, you can let this shit go if you stop trying to get revenge on everybody, right? Like, sometimes shit happens to you and it's out of your control. But you can let it, like the shit you can control. You can forgive me right now. Save your wife and go home to your daughter. Now your
And
wife.
Jeff's stupid ass even said, he says, "Do you want to go home with your wife, Jeff?" Yes. Like, clearly you ain't want it bad enough, idiot.
So yeah, but I loved it, man. I fuck with the Saw 3 for sure.
Bro, that Jigsaw shit, like I've said it every time, and it's the most evident here. Like a motherfucker, like for all the sociopathic, whatever you want to say, like he did some bullshit. Like he, at the end of the day, bro, that motherfucker really is just trying to teach a motherfucker a lesson. And if anybody I've seen so far deserve to be taught a lesson, Jeff needed to learn that fucking lesson, bro.
Definitely.
Like, I hate that I feel like he didn't.
He didn't. He didn't learn anything.
Yeah. Appreciate you, Luther, man.
Like, that motherfucker didn't learn a goddamn thing, bro.
Slim, highlight my man's comment, bro. He said, I fucks with y'all. I'm about to hit the, I don't know, bro. I just want to shout bro
shout out to Luther, man.
He said, I fucks with y'all. I'm about to hit the bell. Salute to you, bro.
Salute, man. Appreciate
you, man. Watch 1 and 2 if you ain't already and shit. We got another 7 after this.
We got all kinds of episodes on here. We got like 57 episodes of all kinds of shit, bro. Like,
shit, we doing hardball tomorrow.
Yes, sir. Hardball. Like 8 o'clock.
All right, bro. So, who y'all want me to go first or what? Y'all want to go first?
Doesn't matter to me.
All right. So, here we go. Saw 3, man. I think that if I'm like this, first off, like we said, this is the movie where like the connotations they have for the Saw movies now of all the fucking gore and shit. This is where it got started. They do some absolutely wicked shit to a motherfucker in this movie, but I feel like it's still acceptable at this moment because this was the first time that they really did it. You know what I'm saying? And the stakes are high, despite like the test being kind of stupid and kind of ass. Like a motherfucker, like all these stakes are because a motherfucker like watched his son die. You know what I'm saying? Like nobody really like. Normally, these people are in tests as a result of them being some sort of a huge piece of shit, causing the death of others, etc. Like Jeff was just a vengeful dickhead, and like he deserved it, but like, you know what I mean? But I say that to say they upped the ante again once more, and they added, probably in my opinion, like I said, the first one was like the best twist, and it's still high up there, but the culmination of all the twists here might be my favorite shit so far. You know what I'm saying? I think that they had some. Jeff was a piece of shit character. Like there weren't like just a bunch of cold characters, but I think they were better than the last movie. Like I might be wilding for this, but I think the only thing that I can take off for this movie is just the fact that like some of the characters were ass. Like all the traps were like intriguing and excruciating in their own way. Tobin Bell delivered another classic performance as a cerebral fucking supervillain and shit. They tied up everything in terms of like whenever they did the flashbacks to show Amanda helping with these different traps and some more shit. Like they tied all of that shit back together really well. And I don't know, bro. I might get this hoe a 9. I'm not gonna lie to you. Like, I feel like it might be high, but that's just kind of how I'm feeling right now. Like, I think that there's not a whole lot that I can critique this movie on for real, especially comparing it to the previous 2 that I've seen.
Okay. Like I said, bro, the previous 2 Saws, like I seen this one just as many times as I've seen those. I didn't like it as much as I used to when I was growing up, but as it got towards the end and everything got tied together, I was like, okay, yeah, I see why I remember this shit being so fire. That nigga Jeff was so ass. The decision making was terrible, but I can't blame the movie. That's him. That's it. That's how he is. That's his character. Nigga's fucking terrible. So everything being tied together, it was dope, man. It was cool. I can't put it over the first 2, in my opinion. So I'm gonna go 8.
Okay. Right. Yeah, you're 100%. For me, it's so far it's my favorite of the 3, and it's essentially because of that, right? I feel like it just comes together at the end a little better. I think they keep getting a little better. I think Saw 2 came together real good at the end too. But it was just so many twists all at once, and it's kind of how I felt about Lucky Number 11. It's like you had a lot of plot holes even at the very last like 20 minutes, and then all of that shit came together. It was like, that's crazy. So I really, really appreciated that. I think we touched base on this, but Jeff is ass. Everybody is ass, essentially. Amanda's fucking garbage. Jeff is garbage.
Jigsaw is the weakest version of himself so far. But...
Yeah, for sure. But I still feel like, given what he is allowed to give, still pretty good, bro. Like he still looks like a mastermind. He's still putting shit in play, and his games are still what they're supposed to be. Like tough choices, but possible to win. And I can appreciate that, especially when the distinguishable difference between his traps and Amanda's traps is shown. It's like, yeah, like you're not doing the shit right. I can't, like, I wanted to see if you could redeem yourself, if I could trust you to take over the reins after I die. But like, you're really a piece of shit. So like, seeing you go is like, damn, you know. But great. I love it. It's still my favorite of the three so far. Interested to see if I have a different opinion as we watch the rest of them. I'm gonna give it a 9 as well.
All right, man. So that altogether, that's the final rating for Saw 3 is an 8.7, which I feel like might be the highest one so far.
Yeah, sure. Likely.
But I think that's
can't be.
First one probably.
I just got here. Wasn't the first one rated? Me and Pools both gave it a 9, I think. What you gave it? 8.5?
Shit, maybe, I don't know.
That shit probably close though.
Yeah, but I mean, I think like within the first 3, we've maintained 8 above an 8, and I think that's like a good indication of the series thus far.
That shit probably about to drop soon.
Oh shit! Hey, what shit? It's got to
find out, man. I'm gonna finish watching this bitch because I ain't get to finish watching this one. But
shout out to Saw 3, Meg. So y'all already know tomorrow we doing hardball. Y'all pull back up for that. Crash Course will continue with Saw 4 probably sometime next week, maybe like Tuesday or some shit. You know what I'm saying? But like we all gearing up to.
So we got
Saw
KJ,
X
we got
on the
5
29th.
weeks until Saw X.
That's a fact.
And we got 6 movies.
Well, so 6. Yeah, you're right.
7 counting that one.
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, we'll probably be done a little bit early, maybe.
Hey Trey, you gonna go see Saw 10 when it drop?
Yeah, I think this has got me invested, so shit, might as well.
Cool. Shout out Luther, man, for pulling up.
Shout out my boy John Doe in the comments too, man, and Tori.
Shout out Tori. I miss you.
But they left though. That's why I ain't say that.
Don't matter.
Shout out them. Crazy. Yeah, shout out them. I made a whole comment, KTS. It said, thank you to all the viewers.
We saw it, son.
Yeah, man. Mm-hmm. I just found out I could star shit, man. That's crazy.
What that star shit? Oh, you gonna star your own shit?
Well, it's saying start.
He already did.
Well, no, I don't know. Yeah, nigga, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm learning this shit too.
All right, so with that being said, man, sign us out.
All right, man, this has been another episode of the Real Rap Coalition podcast. You were supposed to do it, KT.
I had already did it low key, but
and we are out.